This video is titled, Am I Representing Real Martial Arts? So this is in a way a response to a message I received by somebody. He's asking me all these complicated questions. I don't even know what these labels are because I'm not really a religious person like that. But he's saying, am I an evangelist of the real martial arts? Do I consider myself a televangelist? I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Of the real martial arts. Do you preach the gospel, good news of the real martial arts? Can people call you Pastor Freddie Lee? Is the MMA world, the BJJ, the false gospel? Are the Gracies, Dana White, Shannon Lee, and Steven Seagal false prophets since they profit off of the mixed martial arts? So basically, I'm just gonna sum up those questions as like answering the question: am I representing the real martial arts? I'm trying to, but as far as a worldwide scale is concerned, it's just an enormous task, and I feel that it's such an enormous task that I don't even want to be like the only, like I don't feel that I don't even know how to say it, but I feel that I need to, like, I want to represent the real martial arts, but as far as a worldwide scale is concerned, it's too much to handle. It's something where I need to develop more. You know what I mean? In everything. And I just feel that what's going on out there with the martial arts being exploited, especially like what's going on inside this cage with the MMA, I feel is just not right, and that should not be happening. But it doesn't mean that the people that engage in those activities, that all of them are untalented. There's some people in there that aren't talented, and because there's so much money involved, and because there's so much fame involved, and so many people striving towards that fame and money, it's like, how can you compete against so many people that are striving towards that? It's just like the NBA. I mean, it's so hard to make it to the NBA. You got hundreds of thousands of kids that want to be there, but barely that many people, a few hundred people make it out of like hundreds of thousands of people that are trying to make it, you know. And I just want to live my life trying to represent my vision of what real martial arts is to the best of my ability. And I use, obviously, Bruce Lee as an inspiration, and Jet Li and Tony Jaa as inspirations. And these are people that are, that are recent, but then there's people that have passed away. Maybe even somebody like Musashi, who's representing something of a higher level, than what we see in combat sport. And even people like the founder of Aikido, they're supposed to be representing something higher than what we find in combat sport. And I want to represent something higher than what you see in combat sport. But because there's so many people involved in combat sport, it's hard to kind of compete with that, because there's just so many people that are striving for that, because I mean they are literally making millions of dollars doing what they do. So for example, like Mayweather is undefeated and he's a millionaire, like has millions of dollars. I mean, and then people admire him. Well, and he's skilled, he's talented. But yeah, I mean, of course, you should be skilled. You should be talented if you're making millions of dollars and getting all this fame and all this other stuff. Um, as for me, I'm not really making much of anything. I don't have the fame or the money or the women or whatever the case may be. But I'm still training. You know, I still train hard. But do I train as hard as him or a lot of these other combat sport athletes? Well, I'm kind of taking my time. There's no rush for me. You know, it's not a competition for me. But, like, for people, I feel that, like, a lot of people, they're trying to say, well, you know, if you're going to criticize these athletes and these people, these fighters, then you should be better than all of them. Well, it's like, you know, look at how many people are doing it. You know, I mean, it's like, I'm not here for that. And it's too stressful to even think about that. You know, I don't feel that there's anything for me to prove, but really, all I want to do is just kind of represent, like, you know, a high level of training that doesn't involve hurting other people. And that's what I consider real martial arts. Like, people that practice the real, but they don't have that desire to hurt other people just because they can. You know, and I know that when you step in into the realm of firearms and the law enforcement and the military or the Secret Service or whatever, or just not even having to work for the government, but just when you step in the realm of these weapons, fencing, it could be fencing, it could be kendo. You step in the realm of these weapons, it's not about hurting other people, but it's just training yourself to be at a high level of efficiency. That really, there's people out there that are very good at what they do, and they don't have to hurt other people. Basketball players are good at what they do too, but they don't have to hurt people to demonstrate that. That's not what the sport is designed around. It's not designed around hurting other people. It's designed around exemplifying your skills and abilities for the time that you're on that court. You know, and any respectable sport is supposed to be that way. Like the sport of tennis, or the sport of golf, or the sport of bowling, you know, or soccer. I mean, these sports are designed of developing your skills and talents, and the objective is not to hurt the other person physically. The objective is to exemplify your skills and talents without having to jeopardize another person's safety and well-being. I mean, just like looking at like D Rose, he recently just hurt his other knee. Now, he's a very talented person on the courts, but it's not like the players are like tackling him and kicking his knees and hurting him on purpose. He hurt himself, and you know, by pushing himself too hard in the court. So basically what I'm saying is that it's not to the benefit of the people or of the players or of the athletes for them to be injured. You know, the audience, it's not good for the audience to see D Rose injured or Kobe Bryant injured. It's not benefiting the audience. It's not benefiting the players. It's not benefiting the athlete for them to be injured. They don't want to be injured. And basically, you got these people that train in martial arts or train in the combative arts, and they're going inside this arena to hurt each other, to injure one another. And I disagree with that. You know, I want to represent something that's beyond that. Basically a safer and more intelligent way of training within the martial arts. And I feel that Bruce Lee had that understanding, and he represented it the proper way. You know, he had fun with the martial arts. He was very creative. He was telling stories with the movies he was making. He was writing books. He was educating people through film. And he was having fun with the martial arts and getting talented people involved, getting Chuck Norris involved, getting these martial art masters involved, getting Kareem Abdul-Jabbar involved, getting all these individuals involved, making money with him, while making like very beautiful and playful and talented choreographed fights. He was doing it the right way, and that's how I feel a real martial artist should be doing it. A real martial artist doesn't do it like these fighters, like the way that they're doing it. It's very ignorant, it's unintelligent, it's dangerous, it's harmful for your health, and it's damaging for the society. You know, so I'm here to try to represent the real martial arts and letting people know that, hey, you know, we could train in the martial arts, but we need to represent it in a healthier, safer, less competitive, more peaceful, more compassionate way. More creative rather than destructive. You know, and I'm going to continue to work hard until I die. But I'm not going to overtrain. I'm not going to work so hard that I end up dying early like the way Bruce Lee died early. And I'm not going to kill myself to feel like I had to prove anything. The fact of the matter is, it's not even about what I could do physically. Even though most people are going to try to attribute that to whether or not I'm credible. Well, can this guy fight, or can he do this, can he do that? Well, you know what? I'll do what I can. You know, but I'm going to be real about it. I'm not going to be taking no steroids and doing all stupid ass stuff. I'm just going to be training hard and working hard for the rest of my life and trying to represent something real in the martial arts. But you know, I'll tell you right now, you know, a lot of these fighters, they're not going to last too long. They're going to drop off. They might be talented now, but I bet you they won't be talented in the future when their career's over. I bet you they're going to be like a piece of shit, like a O.J. Simpson or something like that. Locked up in jail, getting all fat and obese, looking like a big fucking mess. You know, I bet you these fighters are going to be like that. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. He's not on top of his game. I don't care if he retired. He still ain't on top of his game. Michael Jordan's not on top of his game right now. Muhammad Ali's obviously not on top of his game. Every single one of these fighters are going to fall off. And they're going to be a piece of shit. And what I'm saying is my training method is supposed to be lifelong. So by the time I'm 80 or 90, I'm planning to be doing a lot of stuff still at that age. And I feel that that's what real martial arts is, a lifelong journey, a lifelong development. It's not just for a period of your life, in your 20s or your 30s, or even your 40s. I'm talking about a lifelong journey. And that's what I aim to represent, and only through time will people see. And maybe through time people will start to respect that. Because maybe when I'm 90 years old, which is going to be like 60 years from now, or to be more exact, 58 years from now, people will see with their very own eyes that, hey, you know, this guy has been working hard for the last 60 years, and he's still training hard. He's still not stopping. He's 90 years old and he looks like he's 50. That's what I want to be. And that's what I want to represent. you know, and you got some of these fighters, they might die in their mid-40s, they might die in their early 40s, or whatever the case may be, or they might be at the age of 40 and they look like they're already 80 because they just messed up their bodies so much by unintelligent ways of training. And these fighters are all greedy and just fixated on the money, attached to the money, and just controlled by the money. But a real martial artist is somebody that's lives a humble lifestyle, doesn't even really need much money, but he's not greedy, doesn't need that much money to be happy. I find a lot of happiness without having much money. And that's another reason why he doesn't care to fight for money, because he didn't care for the money to begin with. You know? And it's gonna take time to kind of influence the world in the way that I envision to influence the world, but I'm willing to wait, because the journey in itself is what is beautiful. The time that I take in the training and just having fun with it, represent something positive in the martial arts, and just kind of trying to encourage people to get involved. And yeah, I want to be representing the real martial arts for today, for right now. Somebody has to do it, and I wish to take part in that journey with the people that I've grown close to, that wish to join me in this positive way of training in the martial arts.